Confidently controversial. Confidently controversial. Confidently controversial.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good day.
Oh my.
Well,
look at you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to
Confidently Controversial, the podcast.
Yes,
Don't
hi.
get it confused with the television show.
Of the very same name.
That's correct.
It's not true. There isn't a show of the same name.
Not yet.
Not yet, but maybe soon. Hey, Hollywood.
Whew, I'm overheating
Call us.
already.
Why? What's wrong?
I don't know.
Things got a little too hot, too quick.
Yeah, too quick.
Step down. Let's back it
That's
off.
right.
Oh, man. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm so good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I watched last night?
What?
The Weird Al movie.
Oh, how was it?
It was really, it's weird.
Well, yeah.
I feel like it's interesting because you know how his songs are very much, they're
Parodies.
Parodies
Yes.
of, the real song, but they're still well produced.
Sure.
They're still good music. Like, he is an excellent musician in and of himself.
Right.
So I feel like this movie is like that. Mm-hmm. It's well produced. It's but it's like so many cameos in it.
Oh, really?
So many cameos in it. It's crazy. Like, you should definitely watch it for the cameos. And but it's like a well-made film, but it's not. It's silly, but it's very just acted very straight. But it's just like very weird. I was watching it with my son, and I feel like he was kind of not
understanding.
He was like, "What is this?"
Have you ever showed your kids like the Weird Al videos?
A while ago, we haven't had we used to like watch old videos over and over. We haven't done that in a while. I feel like that was a pandemic thing. We would sit there and watch a lot of music videos.
What to watch.
But we haven't done that in quite a bit. I feel like they have, but I don't know that Anderson would necessarily remember it.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a whole new world to open up for your kids. Like, I definitely remember going through my Weird Al phase and like getting the CDs for Easter one time. I got them in my Easter basket. And it all just being very much like, oh, I can't wait to see what this guy does next,
I have like vague memories of when he was, because I was an MTV kid. So
Right.
I watched MTV all the time
sure.
when I was younger. And his videos, when there was going to be a new Weird Al video,
yeah.
it was so exciting.
Yeah.
I don't remember having the album. I think my brother had the albums. I don't necessarily remember them, but I do remember all the videos and being way into it. Now, as you know, I'm a close personal friend of Weird Al.
Oh, I know. Tell the story to the people.
So so we live in a small town area. However,
highlight of our lives.
The highlight of our lives. So there's some concerts. Now, back in the day, my dad grew up here, and there used to be really big names in music that would come play down here. But, that was not the case when we were younger.
Oh, no.
At all. I mean, we were lucky to have Love Seed Mama Jump.
Well, they're a local band, aren't they?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're local.
Yeah, they're local.
We had Live.
We had Live. Oh, yeah. The band Live came and played a show once, and it was that our senior year in high school?
Junior or senior.
Yeah, I think
it was
summer
your senior year, maybe.
Summer before my senior year, maybe.
Yeah.
Something
but
like that.
But I also feel like if you ask anyone of a certain age that lives down here, they're like, oh, yeah, I was there.
Yeah, because there's nothing else. There was nothing else. And similarly, the following summer, they booked Weird Al to come play at the convention center down here. And, of course, everyone.
I didn't go.
You didn't go?
No. I missed it.
Oh, man. Well, we all went. Like, my entire family went. I mean, me, my brother, my sister, my parents didn't go.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah. And so, anyway, but I remember, I think my cousin came with us. Like, it was a lot of people. And as I was walking in, it was a summer after my freshman year in college.
Okay.
And, I had a certain look. Sure. I would say at that time, the tight baby doll shirt, I think I had short, red manic panic hair. But when I look at pictures of myself from that time, I definitely had a certain look I was going for.
Were you cool?
I don't think I was cool, but I think I was very much invested in a certain look.
Okay, sure.
We'll say that. So as I was walking into the show, there's all, you can imagine all these crowds of people that are walking in, and there was someone standing off to the side who was like, excuse me, and like pulled me over. And of course I have my sister and my brother with me, and my sister's, super protective.
Sure.
And this person was like, hey, do you want to be in the show? And, I'm like, what? And my sister, of course, is like,
scam, get away.
Get away. Yeah. She's going to protect me.
Right.
And I was like, well, what? And he's like, we, for the show, we get 2 girls who are just audience members to be the backup dancers in Smells Like Nirvana. So if you can remember the video for Smells Like Teen Spirit. So I was a Smells Like Nirvana girl. So it was me and this one other girl who went to Stockton. That's all I can remember.
Oh, really?
And they put us up in another room.
Did you have to change clothes?
Yes. They took us up to the this other room up in the convention center.
Okay.
And there was like bathrooms and stuff. And they gave us costumes to change into. And they gave us just a boom box with the song and some pom-poms. And we're like, figure out a routine. So,
and you had to match each other or something?
Yes. So we did we tried to do it like the music video. Now, I mean, this is a time when there was it's not like we had a cell phone where we could look at the video and be like, this is how they were in the video. Yeah. So it's all just from memory, us trying to figure out, what these people did in this dance.
Sure.
But we kind of did it. And then we're in our costumes. And then I remember the guy coming back up to get us and was just like, well, Al likes to meet with the people beforehand.
Ew.
Yes. So we go to the tour bus, but it was very family friendly. I feel like he had, there was a girlfriend there or something who was also a stage manager, and she was very stage mommy. Okay. And she was, that was a weird way to say that. But she was very sweet. And I feel like she, at that point, then she kind of hung out with us and was very nice. And we kind of hung out side stage. We hung out with him. He drew tattoos on our arms, and which was super cool. And just kind of chatted with us a little bit. And he was very nice.
And you don't feel like there was any ill intent in this?
Not at all. Maybe some of the people in his band.
Okay.
Yes.
But not from Al himself.
Not from Al at all. He couldn't have been nicer.
He's not weird. He's totally cool, Al.
He just seemed like a very normal person who was dealing appropriately with people who could have been his,
children.
Yeah, he's probably about our parents' age.
I don't know.
I think so. If not, he's probably in the same age group.
Yeah.
So he was very nice to us from that place. I feel like he asked about
because
what we're going to school for.
Because you understand that at other concerts, let's say Motley Crue concert, if they ask you to come dance on stage, that doesn't mean what
I'm
you
having
think it
sex
means.
with someone in that band.
Tommy Lee, you're seeing Tommy Lee's penis.
Well,
you're seeing his penis.
I did see Weird Al in his underwear. Oh, because we watched the show from backstage, which was also super, super cool. And
your sister was probably having a heart attack the whole time. I'd love to hear this story from her perspective, because I imagine as an older sister, just losing my goddamn mind, not being able to concentrate on anything. It's probably her least favorite concert experience, because she's probably the whole time so worried and freaking out, and just be like, what? This is terrible. I've let this thing happen to my sister. She's never coming back.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I think she was just really excited for me I think she was just excited for me.
Okay.
But yeah, so he does a lot of costume changes in the show.
Oh, well, yeah.
So if you remember that song, Eat It. Yeah. So he puts on a full fat suit. Oh. So you just see him in this down to his underwear, putting on the thing. But it wasn't.
Dance recitals, plays, SNL. I assume there's a lot of quick changes.
Yeah, and everyone's seen each other in their underwear.
Yeah, band buses.
Sure.
We got changed in a lot of weird places as teenagers in order to get into band costumes and out of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it was awesome. It was very, very cool. So that's my Weird Al. That's my claim to fame.
I'm glad you finally got to tell it on the pod.
It had to come up one of these days.
Yeah. So now I'm curious, is if this is going to be related to the movie we're watching today.
It's not at all.
Okay. I was we're definitely watching UHF today.
So today, picking a movie, as we've talked about before, we both have just running lists of movies.
Sure.
Right? As you think of them, you put them down on a list on your phone, and then when it's your turn to pick a movie, I kind of just scroll through the list, and it's all about a vibe. Sure. Right? Yeah. What's the vibe? So there's a few different ones. And
I'm concerned because the vibe so far has been sad January.
Well, this is not sad. This is a movie that you and I have talked about watching together for years.
Oh, no.
For years, we've discussed watching this movie together and how we should get together and watch this movie.
Oh.
And how we both watched it. I don't think I watched it in fact, I'm very certain I did not watch it when it came out because I was not allowed to watch this movie. My sister may have watched it. Okay. She probably did it like a sleepover or something because it was a big movie. It was a talked about movie, especially among people in our age group and a little bit older.
What year?
The movie came out in 1987.
Okay.
And it is based on a book. It came out November 20th, 1987.
All right.
It actually debuted at number 3 in the national box office and went on to gross $15.2 million in the United States. The movie, so in the first cut of this movie, it was shown to test audiences who were a little bit repulsed by it. Repulsed. To the point where they had to go back and they had to recut it and actually refilm the end of it. And the original director who wrote the screenplay for it got so mad he walked off the set. And he did not take part in the...
Is it a horror movie?
I guess you would consider it a horror movie, but it's more of like a psychological horror movie.
Yeah. I'm scared. I don't know what it is.
You're going to be delighted, I think, when I tell you what this movie is. The movie received mostly negative reviews from critics.
Of course it did. Have we watched one that's gotten any good reviews yet?
And fans from the book, so the book was a big deal, who both disliked the film's slow pacing, acting, and plot changes. They wanted all the nastiness.
All the time.
All the nastiness from the book. They wanted to see it in the movie. So when they didn't see it in the movie, they were mad. So even to this day, it has like pretty low ratings. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's got 11%. Yeah.
Wait, and we've talked about watching this together?
A lot.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Drawing a complete blank.
And, and the average rating is a 3.2 out of 10.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. The Metacritic has a score of 25 out of 100, which indicates generally unfavorable reviews.
Oh, my God.
So this movie revolves around a family of kids.
Okay.
Who are locked away in an attic.
Oh my God.
Today's movie is
Flowers in the Attic.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God. Well,
excited?
I'm so excited because as our listeners do not know, you and I went through my Sweet Audrina phase.
Yeah, we did. And I will say, so this movie is based on books by V.C. Andrews.
Yes.
And people in our demo
Oh my God.
know who V.C. Andrews is.
You know what a V.C. Andrews cover looks like.
With a little picture.
And you can open it and it had a hole in it.
And I don't think it was just her books. I feel like that was a thing.
It was a thing. I worked in a bookstore for a while. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you in my brain exactly where the V.C. Andrews books were shelved. And I know what all the covers look like. And I can picture the shelf in my mind with their thorny covers. And like, I think they were probably a little textured.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, there was texture.
Yeah, like the flowers were like bumpy.
I did not. So I've read one V.C. Andrews book in my life, and it was My Sweet Audrina, and I read it as a full grown adult.
Yes,
and it was wild.
They are wild,
like wild. And I read a bit about V.C. Andrews.
Okay, tell me more.
Who a very interesting person. Okay, so let me get to my V.C. Andrews information. She was so her name is actually...
Vera Cruz.
No, her name is actually Cleo Virginia Andrews.
Oh, so it's actually C.V. Andrews.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But she changed it. So Cleo Virginia Andrews, she was born in 1923.
Oh. And
she got hurt or something when she was younger, and she ended up taking a correspondence school to be an artist. But then she got into writing books when she got older.
Was the injury a hit on the head?
possible. But she did say about her books that she really feels she said, she felt like when she reads a book, if it doesn't hold her attention the whole time, she puts it down and she doesn't finish it. So she feels like her books need to be filled with just twists and turns and just action and things happening so that people just do not put them down. And I gotta say,
she's good at that.
She's good at that. Right. Because if I assume Flowers in the Attic is like My Sweet Audrina, right? Then that book, I couldn't even believe it. I mean, it's hysterical.
Hysterical, but also like the girl broke her leg like 15 different times in the movie or in the book, remember? And then I also remember there was like this big thing about like the house, and there was like rainbow particles like across the ceiling or something.
And she would like lay and look at the ceiling. It was just great. Like the writing of it was, and then there was
crazy. Like some like treacherous staircase, and that's how she broke her leg so many times. I don't know. Anyway.
Did she break her leg, or did her like cousin kept like was like brittle or something?
I think so. I don't know.
But
anyway,
VC Andrews, she's got a little bit of an attitude. She said, "I don't care what the critics say. I used to until I found out that most critics are would-be writers who are just jealous because I'm getting published and they aren't. Oh. I also don't think that anybody cares about what they say, nor should they care."
Wow.
I know.
They're just jealous.
They are. She's got a little bit of a like...
Yeah, good for her.
Who was that lady?
Good for her.
So interestingly enough, in my mind, she wrote like all these books. Uh-huh. But actually, she did not write a tremendous amount. Like there was Flowers in the Attic, Petals on the Wind, which is a follow-up to that, If There Be Thorns, My Sweet Audrina, Seeds of Yesterday, Heaven, and Dark Angel.
That's a lot.
Yes. After she died, though...
Yeah.
They realized that she had a little bit of like, maybe tax money she owed. So the family realized that her name had value.
Yeah.
So they got someone to be a ghostwriter. Uh-huh. So there were 2 books that were written under her name after she died. But then after that point, after the 2 books were under her name, they published under the other writer's name, uh-huh. whose last name is also Andrews, or his first name's Andrew. That's the thing. He's an Andrew. There's an Andrew in there. Okay. But he just wrote under his own name, but they were still in the world. So all of these different there's all these families that are in each of these stories. So like in My Sweet Audrina, that's a family. Yeah. And they have a whole series of books that are all with that family. Same with this one.
Okay.
They have a whole series of books that are all with those. And they're just trashy and wonderful. And I love it. Now, going back to this movie, so VC Andrews is actually in a cameo in this movie, so we have to keep an eye out for her.
I will.
So she was given a cameo as a maid.
So there's multiple versions of this movie, yes?
Yes.
There was recently one with Heather Graham in it?
Yes, and they said that one is actually closer to the book. So this one... So cameo, sorry. We're going to look for her. She's in Foxworth Hall scrubbing the glass of a window after Chris and Kathy attempt to escape from the rooftop. So we're going to keep an eye out for her. Uh-huh. So in the original book, and the thing with this book that people were a little like about is that there's incest.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is in this story. So I guess in the book it was a little bit more intense than in the theatrical version.
And people were upset about that?
Some people, so people were upset in the test audiences were upset because they were like, most of those test audiences were made up of young girls.
Okay.
Who had maybe not read the books.
Sure.
Who were repulsed by
and they were just at the mall
incest.
And they were like, hey, do you want to watch a movie for free?
And they were like, yeah, I'll watch a movie.
Let me get some TCBY and I'll be right there.
Yeah, and then they're like, hold it.
What's happening?
What? And I guess it's been much more downplayed in the actual... I watched this movie, but I feel like I was more of like a teenager when I watched it, and I don't remember it that clearly. But I do know that everybody was like, it was a movie that I really wanted to watch, and my parents were like, no.
Good for you, parents.
Yeah. You could not watch this movie. Did you watch it when you were younger?
No, but I think I've seen the recent one.
Really? Did you see this one?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I might have read the book.
Okay. It'll all come back to you then, I guess.
It will.
It's all coming back. It's coming back to me now. So the plot is this. If you do not remember. The plot is, it revolves around the Dollenganger. What a name.
Sure.
Mickey Dollenganger children who, after the sudden death of their father, are convinced by their mother to stay hidden in the attic of their wealthy grandparents' mansion so she can reclaim the family fortune. Ooh, drama.
Right, like they go home. They go back to the grandparents' house, but the grandparents don't really want to know about the kids or something.
The grandfather doesn't.
Right.
So, like, it's yes. So,
Okay.
because I think what happens is that the mom married her uncle, and the dad was pretty upset about that because it was his brother or his
Right.
Yes. So he's like, he doesn't know that there's any kids that came out of that marriage.
So incest runs in the family.
So there's lots of incest. Well, but when I read about it, it's kind of alluded to the fact that the kids were put in this attic for so long that they were prepubescent when put in, like, the older siblings were prepubescent when put in attic.
Yes.
But then started going through puberty while in the attic.
Okay.
And they're only around each other, so,
Emily, you...
I'm just saying that's
You're like, what else could happen?
No, but that's the conceit of the plot.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's good.
No.
Or it should happen or
Okay.
anything. I'm just saying that's what they say happens.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah, no, I understand what they say happened.
Yes. But yeah, the film was directed by a man named Jeffrey Bloom, who also wrote the screenplay, but his adaptation deviates significantly from the novel, especially in the ending and certain character developments.
All right.
The cast includes Louise Fletcher, who you will recognize as the cruel grandmother, Victoria Tennant, who you will also recognize as the children's mother, and Kristy Swanson, OG Buffy,
Oh, man.
as Kathy,
No way.
the eldest daughter.
Oh, jeez.
Jeb Stewart Adams plays her brother, Christopher.
Jen?
Jeb.
Oh, Jeb.
Yes, what a name. What is it short for?
Jebberly?
Jebediah?
Jebson?
Jebson?
I don't know.
Okay. So yeah, the movie received mixed reviews, mostly bad.
Yeah.
Some kind of liked the atmosphere of the movie and the performances, especially Fletcher's. And I think Louise Fletcher, I think she's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I gotta check on that.
All right.
In my mind, they're the same person, but maybe they aren't. We'll look that up.
We probably won't. We say a lot that we're going to look things up for the second half. We never do.
I know. Sometimes during the movies we look it up. I mean,
But we just don't tell you.
we tell each other while we're watching the movie. Yeah. But there's a lot of differences from the book. Fans of the book often point out that the film lacks the depth and darkness of the novel. Some of the key plot points.
It seems very bright and cheerful.
Yeah, some of the key plot points and themes were softened, mostly the incest, or altered, which some believe diminished the impact of the story. So all those big fans of incest were like, I came here to this movie expecting to see the incest that I loved in the original novel.
Where is it?
Where is it? This is for the birds.
Jesus.
So despite it kind of being a mixed reception, the film really has a cult following.
Yeah.
And fans really like the atmosphere, performances. It has this lasting appeal. And I feel like this is why we wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
When we've talked about it a lot. It's just this memory of it. And also because,
it's also
bananas.
crazy bananas.
It's crazy bananas.
Just, like, the whole idea all of those books have left such a mark on our childhood, and then all of these movies and stuff like that. And I just the fact that they're real and they exist and they were part of popular culture, because it's not like these are fringe books.
No, they were
These were sold. If
huge.
you went into any bookstore,
If you went on the bookmobile that came around for kids, these were on the bookmobile.
They were on the bookmobile. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then when I couldn't believe it, when I read My Sweet Audrina, I was like, what in Sam hell is this?
Yeah, because that's a little incesty too. You're not sure what the relationship is with the dad and the daughter, right?
Yeah, and the mom's kind of jealous of the daughter because they keep talking about how beautiful she is all the time.
Right.
And she play the piano.
Yeah, and isn't she not really the daughter?
They tell her she's not the daughter, but she...
And she, they tell her, they lie about her age and stuff. That's a real fucked up book.
It is. And then they end up having, a mentally disabled daughter that they don't tell her about.
Oh, yeah. And then she falls in love with the neighborhood boy.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
crazy.
Don't they kill the neighborhood boy?
No. But you find out that the neighborhood boy, like, was part of
a gang that raped her,
yes!
which is why she couldn't remember anything.
That's right.
And that's why they lied to her. They're like, we're going to just forget that you had that life when you were viciously gang raped.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
What a time. What a book.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
it's all coming back to me now, for real.
I know. Yeah, that book was crazy.
Whoa.
But I never read this book. But it's funny to me thinking about it because, like I said, I did not read these when I was young. I know my sister had these books, though. I remember the covers.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember reading them.
Yeah.
But I can't believe a young person. Like, after reading My Sweet Audrina, that in the hands of, like, a 12-year-old.
I know. We were in our 40s, late 30s, early 40s, and we were like constantly like, holy oh my God, what?
I know, we were reading it at the same time because we were following along with the My Favorite Murder book club that they had.
One time.
They had a one-time book club, and we were all in. We got our copies of My Sweet Audrina, we read it, and we're constantly texting each other like, what the hell is happening? Maybe after we watch this, we should read the book too, or we should read some of the other ones that are in this family, because
only if I can get the old covers.
I'm sure you could find those somewhere.
Sure.
Somewhere, sometime. So, yeah, I think I'm really excited to watch this movie. Do you want to know what Ebert thought about this movie?
Yes, obviously. I love him.
Ebert gave it a thumbs up.
He did?
He did.
Wait, okay. What movie did we watch previously? And he gave it a half a thumb.
Mommy Dearest.
Oh, see, I'm surprised. Ebert, I don't know what you're doing with your thumbs, man.
I don't know. He kind of
really
like,
willy-nilly.
I mean, when I read his thing for this, he's kind of like, it's not that great, but you know what? It delivers in some areas.
Okay.
So I think Ebert knew a good movie when he saw one. But yeah, you mentioned that they remade it. So they did. It was redone in 2000. I want to say it was 2014.
I feel like it's more recent than that.
Maybe.
I don't know. I think it was like a Lifetime movie or something that they redid it. But anyway.
Yeah. So it's kind of in that so bad it's good category.
Sure.
That
Can't
people
look away.
Can't look away. People gotta love it. It's just the greatest thing. So I am super. But yeah, I know it was. There was a sequel to remake. So there was a sequel. The sequel, Petals on the Wind. And it wasn't really closely linked to the original film, but it is a sequel. There is the Petals on the Wind is the sequel book that came out.
Right.
And in 2014, a more faithful adaptation of the novel was made into a Lifetime television movie. Oh. And that kind of got more interest in the original story and its original film adaptation.
Okay.
So there we go. I don't even know where we're going to be able to find this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't even look into it, but it's got to be out there somewhere.
Sure. We'll find it.
We'll find it. Okay, great. All right. Let's go. Ah!
I've quit podcasting. I just can't do it anymore.
You're done. That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Bye.
Okay. I guess I'll just do the rest of this by myself then.
Sure.
So, what'd you think of that movie?
It was so good.
Was it? It was good. The thing I thought of a lot watching it was, this was like a big screen movie. It looks like
a TV movie.
A TV movie.
For sure.
Yeah. It's not too good.
No, it's not too good.
Like, it's not well made. It definitely has a look and a feeling to it.
It's not well acted.
No, it's like melodrama.
Uh-huh.
It's not well acted, but why don't you recap it?
Oh,
Give me
really?
the recap.
I have to do it?
You have to do it.
Okay. Well, so we start out and we see this happy, happy family.
So blonde.
Let me do it.
Okay, sorry.
We saw this happy, happy family. And it's a mother and a father and a son and a daughter and a set of twins. And they all have C names, Chris and Kathy and Corey and Carrie. And they just look lovely. And the dad comes home from a business trip, and these kids could not be happier to see their father. Amazing. They're just so excited that they hide behind the couch and they pop out. And they're like, Father! And they're thrilled. And then
Talk about the dad. Talk about the weird dad.
I am. And the weird dad, he's like rap-a-pap-paps on the daughter's bedroom door.
No.
And he like peeks his head in and he was like, I don't want the other kids to get jealous of our special relationship.
So bad.
And he gives her this beautiful ballerina music box. And it's a jewel box as well. And it has a ring in it. And she embraces her daddy. And they smooch. Not inappropriately. No. Like, just, they love each other.
But it's also, like, it's not right.
No. First of all, children should be afraid when their dad comes home.
Yeah.
That's the way I was raised. That's the way all of you were raised.
Because you think you know what you did that day. Right. And you know there's a possibility you're going to get in trouble.
Right. Your mom's probably going to tell him and he's going to be pissed. So just stay out of his way. But anyway, so then, it's the dad's birthday. And again, the kids are super excited, hide behind the couch, pop up, only to see that it's the police coming to tell them that their beloved father has been killed.
Yeah. Did they say how?
No.
I
assume tragic car accident.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
So anyway, so then they have no money and they have to go and live with the mom's parents. And the mom's like, don't worry, I have a plan. I'm going to get back in the good graces of my father and he's going to put me back in the will. And then we're going to be rich and it's going to be great. However.
Oh, big however.
Yeah. In the meantime, you guys just have to sleep in this room. Mm-hmm. And live there and never come out. And like, my dad can't know you exist because, fun fact, I might have married his brother.
And they don't even say half brother.
Oh no, full brother.
Full brother.
Yeah.
I married my uncle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you kids may have gotten a little dumber because of it.
You're pretty dumb. And that's definitely what's happening.
Weak because, you get sick real quick.
You're not robust. Right. You're all very blonde and weird.
Right. So anyway, they're basically locked in this room and it's like this big room with only two beds.
It's like a hotel room.
It is. And then it has a bathroom, but there's a secret compartment to the attic that they're allowed to go in and they make it all nice. But, well, I mean,
Yeah.
And then the grandma is like a real bitch.
Yeah, she is.
And she's real strict.
Yeah,
and like her first rule, like top of the morning is fully just like, whatever happens in here, same-sex brother and sister can't sleep in the same bed.
No, opposing. No, same-sex sleep in the same bed.
Right,
so,
right.
little Corey's got to sleep in the bed with Chris, and Carrie has to sleep with Kathy.
Right. It should never be the other way.
Nope. She don't want to see any of that. But I'm going to keep you guys, even though we live in a huge mansion with many houses, with many rooms, I'm going to put all of you in the same room and just make sure you don't sleep in the opposing sexes in the beds together.
Right. Because that will stop this from
I can't have any more incest. There's been enough incest in our family, and I will not stand for any more incest to happen.
Right, look, I'm always on the lookout for it. Yeah, it's the thing I think about the most.
I didn't want to be this way,
right.
But you know what? Your mother pushed me to this place. Right. I didn't think it was something I have to worry about.
Now I see it everywhere.
Yep.
So what happens?
It's coming for me in all different directions. Incest.
Yeah. So then, we definitely see that there's a weird relationship with the daughter and the dad.
Their mom.
The grandpa.
Yeah.
And her father. No, the grandpa and his daughter, Corrine.
They're all C names.
Yeah, the mom.
VC. VC is just like C names.
That's it.
I like the C. I'm Cleo, because that's her first name is Cleo. Right. So all C names for hard C's for everyone. But yeah, so their mom definitely had weird relationship with her dad.
Who had longer fingernails than I've ever grown in my life.
No. If he's just laying in bed doing nothing, somebody needs to take care of that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they're like Nosferatu long.
They were. They were disturbing.
Right.
Disturbing. But yeah, definitely really weird. And you could tell that the mom, the weird grandmother, was jealous of the mom.
Yeah. So there's definitely a scene where the dad's hugging the daughter and lurking in the background is incest obsessed mom.
Right.
But it mimics a scene early on when Uncle Dad is
Uncle Daddy
is giving the jewelry box, and we see Corinne mom watching and also jealous.
Yeah, like there's definitely a lot of weird things happening in these families. I think that somebody opened up Pandora's box with marrying their uncle, but I also feel like there was some kind of weird dynamic that led to that. Like this family's messed up.
The dad is clearly into his daughter. Like at a certain point, the children have to sneak out of their room. And, like, he wakes up and they're all, like, close to his face to see if he's still alive. And he sees
the daughter,
Kathy, and thinks it's Corinne. And he's like, I've always loved you the best.
And I think he thought she was coming into his bed to, like, Yeah, it was...
Yeah, okay. And then it turns out that, like, so the kids are being fed in this room. Like, they get orange juice and milk every day. And these weird pale
chicken
cookies.
Wings. There was like fried chicken and apples and sandwiches.
And weird cookies.
Yeah, it was not bad. I mean...
Yeah, it was decent. I wish someone would roll that in right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be psyched about that. Don't eat the cookies, Kim.
So it turns out the cookies are being poisoned with arsenic. And so all of the children fall ill and get quite pale.
So pale that I commented at one point to say, is this what we look like all the time? Because we're very pale. And Kim said, yeah, that's how we look all the time. Look.
Yeah, like, pale lips, pale eyes, pale hair.
Like dark streaks under their eyes.
Right.
Near death.
It looks like you've got a little mascara under your eyes, but you haven't worn mascara in a couple days.
Yeah. Yeah, like these kids were not looking too good. And like the mom stops coming to visit them.
Yeah, and then for a while, they stop getting fed altogether.
Yeah. Oh, and then what happened? Tell them. You know what happened.
I don't know what happens.
What happens when Corey is so sick, he's in bed, and he's like all feeble, and they have no food to eat. What does Christopher do?
I blocked it already. Okay, so, like, I thought this movie was crazy for so many reasons, but I had no idea that this happened.
No, I did not remember
So,
this.
older brother Christopher, who fancies himself a primary care provider.
I think that's what he wants to be when he grows up. But yeah. And has medical books in the attic.
Reading all these old ass books in the attic. He's like checking little Corey's symptoms and stuff like that. He gets real fed up one day because Corey's so sick, and he whips his belt off, which in a movie like this makes you nervous. And he wraps it around his arm. Oh, and he takes a razor blade in the bathroom and he burns it up. And I was just like, oh my God, what's he going to do? Is he like bloodletting this child or something?
Well, he is reading old books about medicine. So.
Right. We don't know what. And he fully cuts his arm open and makes the kid suck his blood out of his arm crack. What is this called?
I don't know. Your arm crack? Your elbow?
Is the opposite side of his elbow.
Elbow crease.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Arm crack.
I'm messed up by this movie, Emily.
I know. Me too.
So he makes the kids, he like fully like razor blades. First of all, and you could possibly bleed to death. That's where they take your blood from because it's prevalent. And
but I don't even know what to say about it, Kim. Yeah. I was so shocked by it.
I know. No one ever talks about that because they're so focused on the incest.
But the incest isn't even like that much.
Oh, I know. There's a woman on the internet I read super pissed.
That there's not enough incest?
Yeah.
She's like, I loved this book for the incest. Right. I saw the movie and hated it for its lack of incest.
There's a review on IMDb.
Oh, no. I want to hear it.
That gives the film 7 out of 10 stars. Still rates it fairly high.
Not bad.
But the title is Example on How Test Audience Can Ruin a Film. That means it's in caps.
Okay.
And towards the end, it says, now the original version did stick close to the source material. However, when they tested the film to girls around 13, they hated the scenes with incest themes. All caps. The film should have been rated as an R film. Well, that is understandable, but the book had already been around for over 5 years, and the girls that first read the book were now old enough to see an R-rated film.
Oh my God.
Yeah. For years, people have wanted to see the original director's cut. What is not known is who owns the film now, ? New World Cinema, ? MGM, ? Now, if they own the film, do they own the outtakes, ? Most importantly, if a company wants to fund the restoration of the director's cut, can they? Is the footage still around? ? This woman wants to see it. She's like, listen, I have some money saved. I will film this film, or I will fund this film, and make this happen. Who's with me? And everyone's like, no.
We didn't want to see it.
Right.
Nobody wants the incest.
Yeah.
Except for like this one other guy who's like, yeah.
Right.
Here's the thing that I just thought when you were saying that. So those V.C. Andrews books, like we said before, were really big books for, young women. They're a little sexy.
Yeah.
And so, preteens, teenage girls, love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure the moms liked it too. But can you imagine if you're just like an 80s parent and you're kind of like not that into your kids anyway. You're not, you're just not paying attention.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying our parents, I'm saying that was a thing in the 80s where parents were just,
You kind of did what you wanted in the 80s.
Sure.
Kids were more free range.
Sure. But then parents are just like, yeah, my daughter wants to read this V.C. Andrews books and it's Christmas and you buy your daughter all the V.C. Andrews books just like here because you want to read these books. And you're not reading those books. You don't even know.
Oh, right. My mom would basically buy us if we wanted to read a book. Yeah. And my mom would,
because she's like, read.
My mom would be like, yeah, I'll buy you any books you want. If you're going to read the books, I'll buy you the books.
Right.
Like that was very much the thing. Not a lot of other stuff was she that, willing to be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, get the books.
So.
But then these parents don't know that. I mean, now I want to read. I don't want to read the book, but I kind of want, like, what is, because I got to imagine that it was probably kind of like sexy between the brother and the sister.
Well, okay.
And then people were probably like,
tell us more.
But it was probably written as this romance between the brother and the sister that people were probably like, yeah, I'm here for this romance.
Well, the most, I don't want to say the most romantic that it gets because that just sets it up wrong.
No.
But the most sexy it gets in this movie is the girl is takes a bath.
Yeah.
And her brother's like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? She's like, sure, come in, but make sure you close the door so little brother and sister can't see you. And he comes in while she's in the bathtub. Mm-hmm. And
it's not like a big bubble bath. Like, you could probably see everything going on in there.
And he's just like, okay, let's chat. Since I'm here, let me wash your back.
Yeah, but it's not like, I guess she's like a little bit maybe into it at that point, but it doesn't get like sexy.
No, but
I mean, the act of it is like, no.
Yeah, no.
But the acting of it, those actors weren't portraying two people who were like getting aroused by a backwash. Right?
Yeah, don't get aroused by backwash. It's disgusting.
You know what I mean now? Like, they weren't acting like, they were just acting like they're having a normal conversation while he's scrubbing her back.
Yeah, but that's not a thing that should happen.
It isn't. That's what I'm saying. Like, the action itself shouldn't be happening and is definitely too intimate. But the way it was acted was very much brother and sister, hey, you got some dirt on your back. Let me get that dirt off your back. And it wasn't sexy.
Okay.
Like, right? Like, would you call that scene sexy?
No, I wouldn't. But this lady that wrote the review was like, I want more. Watch the front.
Where are the lost scenes?
Right. I
demand the lost scenes.
Yeah, and then the next time the girl takes a bath, we see her take a bath multiple times. She talks about how she like touches her leg all sexy and talks about how she has like thoughts in the tub.
Oh, I'm sure she did. I mean, that was the place where she could escape. One of the things I wrote down watching this was like, what was up with V.C. Andrews? And I went back and just read a little bit more about her biography while we were watching it. And it's funny. Remember how we were talking about My Sweet Audrina and how like someone fell down the stairs? So she fell down the stairs when she was young, and she was like on crutches and wheelchairs for most of her life. Like, never fully recovered from it.
So she was the weird cousin?
She was the weird cousin.
Who, remember, had sex with her piano teacher? So much stuff about this book is coming back to me.
Oh, my God, yes. Yes. But she was just, like her whole position on it was like, yeah, my books are a quick read, and they got a lot going on in them, and people like them, and that's why I write them. But I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck is going on in this lady's brain?
Ways, like, people love romance novels. You could write a romance novel where the people aren't related.
Yeah, you could totally do that.
Like, just make them older and make them not related.
Yeah, like you could still make it a little, like, scandalous if it's, like, you know, an older man, younger woman, but they're not related. Do they have to be related?
Anytime a teenager, you know, smooches a boy, it's just,
yeah, it's a little...
right.
Yeah, it's good.
Right.
Clean teens hooking up.
R.L. Stein, come on.
Yeah, not unrelated teens just having...
Christopher Pike. Come on.
What did you call them in the movie? Two hot teens or something?
Well, that's the thing, too, is, like, seriously, these two, like Emily said earlier, that they're, like, just reaching puberty. You see these people, the man is probably 35. Christopher. He's older.
No, he's probably like 22.
Okay. So either way, he's
a man. He has pubes.
Yeah. And the girl she had a bosom.
I wish you guys could see the way Kim just moved her hand.
So they were old. They were not just like coming into puberty when they got locked into.
But I'm thinking in the book, though, it was a little different. Is what I'm saying. Is the book was probably a little bit different. I gotta say, I didn't like anybody in this movie. I wasn't cheering for those kids.
No,
I wasn't cheering.
Because they were all pale and gross.
They weren't cute, but they were like. I don't know. I guess you're supposed to cheer for them and want them, but to break free. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. Like
the little boy Corey, they're all so blonde, and you can tell that the kids are like.
That's what happens when you have kids through incest. They just get real blonde, right? Like real albino blonde, right? Like not.
And then the little boy was probably like 5 years old, and he had the thickest arm hair. I've never seen anything like it. It was like a werewolf.
That's a symptom of the product of incest,
right? Dumbness, excessive arm hair,
right?
Blondness.
That's it. That's what it says in those medical books. That's what happened. Like Christopher was reading those medical books, and he was like, you can tell that children are the product of incest if they are very blonde, have thick arm hair, and are very dumb. And he looks over at his brother, and he's like, shit, they're right.
Oh my God.
That was fun.
Oh, and and then the girl gets her haircut. So this marks the third movie in a row we've watched with a bad haircut.
Oh my God, with a bad short wig.
Yeah.
They make short wigs that are decent.
Here's my plea to Hollywood. If you're an actress who's getting your haircut in a movie, commit to it.
Get that haircut.
Shave your head.
Yeah.
Cut it off.
Be like Millie Bobby Joe Brown. Shave that head.
Millie Bobby Joe Brown.
Is that her name? No, Millie Bobby Brown. That's her name.
Bon Jovi. Because she married a Jovi.
Are they married?
I think they married.
I knew they're together.
Millie Bobby Joe Brown Bon Jovi.
I don't think there's a Joe. I think it's just Millie Bobby Brown Jovi.
Brown Jovi.
They combine their last names. That's not how everyone does it. But it's what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
Brown Jovi.
Now announcing the Brown Jovies. Oh,
for the first time.
As husband and wife.
The Brown
Mr. and Mrs. Brown Jovi.
Oh man, that's funny.
Is it funny? I don't know.
Oh no. Okay.
Anyway, I don't even know what we were talking about.
We were talking about committing to cutting your hair off and not wearing a stupid wig.
Yeah,
but I guess if they have to do
retakes. Yeah, because then you end up with a bad wig like McCarthy and Pretty in Pink. Andrew McCarthy and Pretty in Pink.
They do weddings. They do wigs so much better now.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that was the thing.
Wig technology has
come a long way.
It's come a long way.
Yeah, the last two movies, the wig, these people had like gorgeous, long, like lovely hair, and then they get a hang wig.
I know. Like, why is it all dried? It like sticks out in all directions. It's unkempt.
Yeah, and can't you cut a wig like normal?
Maybe because it's not real hair, so it doesn't.
Yeah,
they weren't
it's like
using
cutting
real
your Barbie's hair.
Yeah, I mean that's what this girl looked like. She looked like weird Barbie.
Yeah,
like her hair was real messed up.
Yeah, real messed up. But granted, her grandma just like busted in the room and cut it for no reason. Like that wasn't even explained as to why.
I thought that was after. Did she know they got out of the room?
No, I thought that was before they got out of the room.
Or was that after they... Remember they tried to escape that... There was a scene in this that went on for so fucking long where they tried to escape and go down like a rope thing. But then my thought is like, they left the 2 little kids in the room.
Yeah. Also, at the end, they get away. Like Christopher, Kathy, and Carrie get away.
Because Corey dies. He did.
Well, Corey died, yeah. And we see when Corey died that the guy's digging a grave in the woods and there's 4 other graves. Or 3 other graves. But they get away and they have no, like, they don't go to anyone. There were accomplices in all this. Like, there's people that work there that know they were in the attic.
Right, but it was a wedding. So
their mom's wedding.
Their mom's wedding. There was tons of people in the house. I mean, not tons. It was kind of a small wedding.
I feel like they could have sued.
They definitely could have sued. And I guess maybe they were like, yeah, but then you just pushed your mom off the edge and your mom just died. So why don't we just, and you call it even and you go.
Yeah, sorry, we skipped that part.
Yeah, so she did kill her mom. So
by accident, though. They were fighting.
Right, so it was like her mom's wedding day to Bucky MacArthur. What was his name? He was a lawyer. Bucky? His name, no, Bucky was in the other one. This was It was something. Bart. Bunky was in the last movie.
Right.
No, this was Bunky Bart. Bunky DePew. No, this is Bart laid a fart and blew the whole damn thing apart. So Bart, he's marrying the mom who he believes this like, you know, this matronly like woman to have no children.
I mean,
yeah, and she's fully just like, yeah, I've had 4. There's no way I've had any children.
Right.
And he's kind of weird himself, but you know, he doesn't know. He just thinks she's like the long lost daughter of this rich guy, and he's into it.
Right.
So he's marrying her, and then these 3 just sick, sick kids just busting on the wedding where all these nice ladies dressed in their 80s attire are, and they fully just tell everyone what happened. So, and then they just then the mom and the daughter fight, and by act, like, you know, the mom's trying to kill the daughter. Like, she's, like, it was one of them was going over the railing.
Yeah. There was a tussle.
There was a tussle. So the mom goes over the railing, ends up just like hanging by her veil or something.
But it's an opportunity to see her very cute wedding boots.
She had awesome wedding boots. It was a weird wedding dress. It was a turtleneck wedding dress.
Yeah, turtleneck. It was like layers. It was like she put on the turtleneck and then she put the V-neck over because she was prim and proper and a virgin with no kids.
Yeah, that's right. So, and Bart was just like, like, I'm just going to walk away here.
What? I'm out.
But then it just cuts to them, the 3 of them walking away across the grass of this estate.
Yeah.
And they're saying like, I bet grandmother is still presiding over Foxworth Hall. And it's like, what about all those wedding guests? Weren't they like, wait.
Also, you were being poisoned.
Yeah.
The police need to become involved.
You think I would just think that at least one guest would be like, hey, wait, guys, no, these are kids.
Right.
Like, we got to call the cops. Like, something happened here and someone just died.
Yeah.
Like, we need to call the cops.
Right. Nobody go anywhere.
And then the grandmother's just like, no, it's fine. And everyone's like, okay, I guess everything's fine. Honey, go get the car. The wedding's over. I guess there's no wedding today. Let's go home.
Yeah. Is there still cake? Can I get some cake?
Right. Like, I was planning on eating here. This was going to be my dinner. Is the food here? Because it's like a far drive to get home from here. Right. But yeah, nobody seems to do anything or help them. And yeah, it's stupid. Okay. Well, that was it.
That's enough of that.
I got to say, I'm glad we watched it.
Oh my God.
It's been years in the making. Years in the making. And it lived up to everything I hoped it would be. And I'm going to read it.
I'm going to go through a VC Enders phase this year. 2024 is the year of VC Enders.
Oh yeah. Well, if you tell me which one you want to read, and I'll get it too. We'll do a little book club. We'll restart the murder, my favorite murder book club.
Sounds good.
Okay, we'll do it. All right. Do you want to hear Spader Time?
Yeah, I'm really curious.
Spader Time. Spader Time. That's the song.
I like it.
Okay.
Who sings it? Millie Bobby Brown Bon Jovi.
It's Millie Bobby Brown Jovi.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with Kristy Swanson.
Yeah, I figured.
OG Buffy. And also in the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie starred one Mr. Donald
McKay.
Sutherland.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Donald Sutherland.
Okay.
Who is dying from within.
He has failing health from the inside. In the Hunger Games movies, if you're curious as to why President Snow is dying and his breath smells like blood, it's because he has failing health from the inside.
Obviously.
Okay. It's a common condition.
So Donald Sutherland and James Spader starred together in a 1990 film called The Wolf at the Door.
Another wolf movie.
I know. Also known as Bad Influence. So I don't know if it's called one or the other.
Oh, weird.
Okay.
It's never good when a movie has two titles.
No. I feel bad for James Spader sometimes.
He's done some real stinkers.
I just feel like James Spader needs the Tarantino treatment.
But I think that I think he's done okay because he was on that, someone called him, he was Shatnerized.
Okay.
Because he was on that show.
Blacklisted.
No, it was like a lawyer show.
Oh.
Boston Legal or
maybe something
like that with William Shatner.
Oh, okay.
And then, I don't know, he got that stink on him.
You got Shatner stink on him?
He got Shatnered. Anyway, so.
Shattered? Continue.
It's sharp. He got chartered. Anyway, so then he got blacklisted. So I think he probably makes good money. He's I feel bad for me. I'm fine.
No, I think James Spader has a lot to be proud of in his life.
Done a lot.
And I feel like he's just an actor's actor. And he's someone who's
works.
like, I'm a working actor and I'm fine. This is what I do and I'm good. But I just want someone to just put him in a movie and give him like a great role. I want him to win an Academy Award. I want him to shine. I want people to celebrate his career.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want to happen.
Okay.
Not this, Wolf at the Door, also maybe Bad Influence movie.
I'll speak it into the universe and it shall happen.
I want it to happen. Like, everybody, let's make it happen. Everybody start following James Spader. Put it out in the universe. Somebody's like, if we put it out into the zeitgeist that James Spader is awesome, some director out there making a movie is just gonna they're gonna hear his name and they're gonna be like, oh, who would be perfect for this role? And they're gonna give it to James Spader and James Spader is gonna make it gold.
Okay, Emily.
I'm excited for it. And when he wins his Academy Award, he's gonna thank us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what's gonna happen.
All right, great.
Yeah. So everybody, while you're on the social media following James Spader, putting it out into the universe that James Spader should be winning awards and getting great movie roles.
You should follow us now too,
yes.
So that when later on when we're real popular and cool, you can be like, yeah, I've been following them for fucking years.
Absolutely.
Right.
We need a Spader Time T-shirt with a really great picture of James Spader on it. Okay, right. I know you're designing T-shirts, and I think that's one for our shop. Okay. We're gonna work on it. If the people want it, let us know. If you want to shop,
okay,
we're gonna do it.
All right.
So you should follow us on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, on all the things. You should start following us. You need to listen to us every week. If you're just tuning in, if you saw Flowers in the Attic and was like, this is my favorite movie, I want to hear these two women talk about it, and this is your first episode, go back, listen to the other ones. They're just as great. All of them.
Every single one.
Every single goddamn one.
It's true.
But I want to tell you, Kim.
Okay.
We got to end this one.
All right.
And I want to tell you that, you know what? You should be confident. But never confident in a way that makes you think I think that I'm going to marry my uncle.
Yeah. Or I'm going to rub my sister's back in the bath.
No. Siobhan, look out. Next time you're taking a bath, just lock the door. Because Kim might be around.
Stop it, you weirdo.
So be confident, but don't do that controversial clean your sister's back bullshit. All right, we love you guys. We're so glad you listened to this episode, and we'll catch you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Controversy.